Saturday haul on for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with an order that I placed off of the Ulta website. I decided to take advantage of the buy two get one free on Makeup Revolution again, and this time I got 3 of the same product. It's the Soft Focused Powder in Real Life Filter 2-in-1 Pressed and Loose Powder Duo. So there's a pressed powder in here that's 0.24 ounces and then a loose powder that's 0.21 ounces, 7 grams and 6 grams, which isn't a ton of product that you're getting, and I find that I go through this pretty quickly. So I actually just finished the first one that I purchased of this product, and then I cracked into the second one that I got with 2 other Revolution products a couple weeks ago, and that is the powder that I have on my face to set. I did use the pressed version of this to set my face today, and I like the loose version just as much as the pressed. These are the 3 that I just got, and this is the one that I had used today that I had already. It's the first time I used this particular one because I just went through the other one that I had, but this is the pressed version. There's the mirror, and then in the bottom you've got the loose version. I had mentioned that I don't like kind of the component of this on the bottom because a lot of the powder gets stuck kind of in the outside right there, so it gets a little messy. So what I might do with the this one and the 3 that I have is depot all the loose versions to kind of put it in a better container, because I feel like a lot of it's kind of getting wasted. But the product itself is so pretty on the skin, and it's $10, and so with the buy two get one free, you know, I spent 20 bucks on 3 of these, and it's going to last me a while having that many, and I think the quality of the product is super nice. It's also a talc free powder, and I find that when I set my face with either the loose version or the pressed version, my skin doesn't feel kind of dry either, and it's really light and airy on the skin with a beautiful almost blurring type set. So I think the in real life filter aspect of this powder is kind of, you know, holds true to its name. Really like this. I think it's worth trying, especially for 10 bucks, and you can always like get it on sale inside of Ulta and stuff like that. So I got 3 more of those. And then I also saw this new product from The Ordinary. It's the multi-peptide eye serum. It says a multi-technology peptide formula for the eye area with 4 peptide technologies, acetylglucosamine and caffeine. So it's this guy right here, and for The Ordinary, this was pretty expensive. It was like, I think $25, which for The Ordinary, again, is quite expensive. A half fluid ounce. It is also made in Canada, so it's got a pipette on there and a half ounce of product. So I got this one because I was kind of thinking it might be similar to the Nyad Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate that I love. I'm on my second bottle of that. And this one here is much more serum-y, where I feel like the Nyad one has got a little bit more hydration and maybe just a little bit more of an oil aspect to it, which even though it feels a little bit oily, I don't find that it migrates into my eyes like a lot of like eye creams or eye serums that have like heavy oil components to them do. I love that Nyad product, so I've kind of been layering and tinkering around with this one. When I had replaced using the Nyad one night with The Ordinary, I did notice a bit of a difference with the amount of hydration around my eyes. This one just doesn't have as much hydration. So when I continue to use this, what I'm going to do is use the Nyad, put a little bit of this over the top of it, and then my heavier eye cream, and just kind of use it as a layering serum type product as opposed to using it without the Nyad, if that makes sense. It's just too early to tell too with any type of skin benefits, you know, so I'm going to mix it again because it's not hydrating enough like the Nyad one is. So I do prefer the Nyad. I'm going to still mess around with this one and kind of again do the layering thing, but I'm really surprised by the price tag. 25 bucks. So I did purchase it. I'm going to continue to use it. I didn't have any weird reactions, no breakouts or no irritation or redness from this product though, so that's good. But that again is new from The Ordinary. It's the multi-peptide eye serum right there. I also picked up the new Tarte Shape Tape Corrector. There's 0.2 fluid ounces of product in this guy. And this one here is made in the USA. So this is the packaging. I got the pink shade, and I think there are 5 or 6 shades available. And I was nervous that this was going to be a really like deep pink, but it works really well. When I set it with powder, it does deepen just a little bit, but I still really like the product. And I was kind of expecting the formula to be like a little bit thicker, like the Shape Tape Concealer, which I don't care for the original Shape Tape, but I do like the Shape Tape Hydration version. It's the ultra creamy version I find is much more hydrating, but I do like this product because it has such nice coverage. You don't need a lot of it, and it covers really well, but it still remains comfortable as opposed to the original, which just was way too dry and kind of thick for my skin. So I found that the Shape Tape Corrector is a little bit thinner in consistency to that, but I really like it. I've got it underneath my eyes by itself today, and I plan on mixing it with the lighter shade of the ultra creamy that I have, which is 12B, so that I can still retain the pink from the corrector but brighten it up a little bit with the concealer. And I have two shades of the ultra creamy in 12B and 20B, and when I use this product by itself I like to mix them. I do like this concealer quite a lot for a more full coverage type of product, but I'm going to swatch this one and swatch it next to a couple other pink correctors that I have as well, but it blends out really nice. It's got, I would say, a medium coverage to it. Comfortable underneath the eyes, haven't had any issues. The packaging is a little bit different. It reminds me of, like, they had this kind of highlighter-y type packaging that had a top like this. And then I'll show you a little bit more of the doe foot. It's kind of flat, which is interesting, but I don't have to dip back into the product to get more when I just one pulling it out, swipe, is enough product. But that one is the corrector in pink from Tarte, and then I'll swatch the Benefit Boing in Lychee, which is one of my favorites as well. The Benefit is a little bit thinner yet in consistency, and it's a little bit deeper as well in comparison, and maybe just a slighter bit more peachy compared to the Tarte, which is a little bit more pink yet. And then I've got the Exa in pink, which is, I believe, pinker and a little bit deeper than the other two, and this is a thicker formula than both of those. And then the OG, which no longer is available, is the Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid in pink, which I had gone through several of these back in the day, but it's no longer available, and I like to kind of keep it for reference purposes, but it's the brightest out of the three. And I do like all three of those ones as well, but I just wanted to show, like, the tones, and I'm happy that the Tarte one isn't super dark either. It's a nice shade of pink. And that's the Urban Decay right there. So you can see the Urban Decay is the brightest one out of the three, but I'm going to have fun mixing that with the lighter creamy concealer with that the Shape Tape Pink color corrector there. So super happy that I got that, guy. Again, that is the Shape Tape Corrector from Tarte in pink, and it's right there. I also got another one of the Lottie London Mega Brow Shaping Waxes off of Ulta. I had previously ordered 5 that are all warped and funny looking from Walmart.com, and I don't plan on using those, so I wanted to get the one off of Ulta to see if it was also kind of funny. And this one is in much better shape than the ones that I got off of Walmart. This is one of my favorite brow wax products, and I had heard that they're discontinuing it, so I wanted to see if I could possibly get one more because I dipped in to my backup. I don't have it in my brows today. I've got the e.l.f. brow soap, but this is the Lottie London right here, and this is the second one that I have had. Just show you guys what the one that I got here is. They must be discontinued because there's something funny with the formula. So this one is still sealed, but there's like little crystals around the edges. And to be honest, I think that's the sorbitol and sucrose that's in there. It's like sugar, and it actually looks like sugar crystals around the edge, and I'm not about to taste it. But I think I'm going to hang on to this guy. It looks all right other than that, and try to get some use out of it because it's not nearly in as rough a shape as those ones that I got off of Walmart. But I just love this product. I hope that they kind of figure out something with the formula and come back out with it again, this tinted version, because I really like it. It's made in China. There's 0.14 ounces of product. And again, this is the tinted version. It does come in a clear as well, which I have not tried. It's been sold out on the Ulta website, but maybe they're having the same issues with that as well, and they're just discontinuing both of them. I don't know, but I'm trying to hang on to it. Ulta now sells Natasha Denona as well, so I got one of the I Need a Nude lipsticks, and I got the shade in Beatrice 31NP. This one's got 0.14 ounces of product, and it is made in Italy, so this is the box packaging. I had tried one of these lipsticks prior to in the shade Susanna, so that's the only other one from this line that I have, and I'll swatch them next to each other. This is a really pretty shade of lipstick. It's like very neutral in undertone. The packaging's pretty heavy kind of duty, and it's got a magnetic closure on there as well. And I originally had this lipstick on for today's video. I've worn it a couple times, but with today's, because it's kind of like this muted nude shade, I just looked a little washed out. So I went in with MAC Cream Cup to kind of brighten up my face a little bit, because again, this lipstick just kind of was really neutral with the look that I have on my face. But if I had like bright orange eyeshadow or like a brighter eye look or something like that, I think this would play a little bit better like that. But it's a very pretty shade of nude. Again, a very neutral, almost has a bit of a gray in it, I think. I should compare it to Lorna Doone from Gucci, because that's what it reminds me of. Looking at them side by side, I think Lorna Doone might have a little bit more pink in it. No, it's just lighter. Kind of the same tones, it's just a lighter version. And the formulas are a little bit different. Talking about the Natasha Denona lipstick formula, they're very like pigmented and opaque, but the formula is really thin. So I find that it kind of sets down from that thinness a little bit. It's like a thinner, slippier formula, and I like it better after it's been on my lips for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, because it almost dries down a little bit. Otherwise, it's a little bit slicky when you first put it on, because again, that formula is, it's like a thinner, more slippy, again, type of formula with a lot of pigment to it. I do kind of wish it was a bit thicker formula than it is, but I do really like the color of this Beatrice. And then I'll swatch it next to Susanna, which is much warmer in comparison to Beatrice, because that's the only other one that I have from the Need a Nude collection from Natasha Denona. So that guy's Beatrice right there. Also from Natasha Denona, I got the Love Face Palette, Eye and Cheek Essential, it says on the box. This guy is also made in Italy, and it says total net weight 14.5 grams, 0.51 ounces. I'm not seeing kind of a breakdown per product on the box, however, but this is the box packaging right here. I really love the color story of this and the like chrome pink that it's in. One difference between this palette and the first launch that she did in this same format, which is the Glam Face Palette, is the Love Face Palette is magnetized, so you can pull all of the shades out where you can't in the first one that she did, the Glam Face Palette. And this is the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. I did use the highlight shade underneath the brow and on the inner corner on the eyes, and it works really pretty like that. And the highlighter is also really pretty on the skin. The cream blush, this pink right here, it is such a beautiful orchid shade, but this one, in terms of formulation in comparison to other versions of like the cream in her like face palettes, it's got a little bit more slip to it, but it still like blends out to a powder formula. And it's a bit lighter, like it has just a bit less pigmentation than some of her others. And I have been having heck trying to get this on the skin and blend it out. So I went in kind of heavy because I was having a hard time like getting it to show up on my skin, and then it kind of patched up and bunched up and I couldn't like blend it out. And I tried it both unset and set, and it was very difficult to blend. And then one day I was really trying to fix it because it was chunky and patchy, moved my foundation and stuff, and I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna like wipe my whole face off. I was like getting ready to go to work or whatever. And then about noon, when I looked in the mirror, the product was starting to lift off my skin. It was the most bizarre thing. So I'm having issues with the blush, and the shade is so pretty, so that is really like unfortunate. You can tell it's a really like dimethicone style like cream to powder formula, but this one's got a little bit more creaminess to it, where I've had better luck with the drier formulas of the cream blushes in her other palettes than this one, and maybe that's because those ones are a little bit more pigmented. But anyway, I'm not having good luck with that, and I'm trying. It's not the blush that I have on my cheeks today, because it just goes patchy, and then it's really difficult to try to get it to remain fixed. But so if I blend it out, it is such a pretty shade. I think that had it had a little less creaminess and a little bit more pigment, it'd be easier to use. And then the highlight shade is right here, which is I wouldn't necessarily say it's a full-blown cream. It's got a lot of slick to it, which is going to be some silicones that are in there. And it's beautiful on the skin as a highlighter, and it's really pretty on the eyes as well. And it is the exact same highlighter that's in the My Dream Cheek Trio, which mine is broken, but it's this guy right here. It feels like the same formula, and it looks like the exact same color. Grab a little more here. As this one right here. So if you have this palette and you're kind of interested in the highlighter, they're the same in my opinion. Same formula, same color, same kind of tone. So those are the two top products. And then you've got 4 matte eyeshadows and one really, really beautiful metallic with very, very like fine sparkles in there. It's what I have on the lid. It is so, so pretty. I love all of the eyeshadows that are in here. And with this highlighter, it's a one and done kind of palette for an eye look for me. I just wish I could turn this into just a powder blush. That would be just wonderful because it's such a pretty color again. And I do love that these are magnetized as well. So you could switch this around with other, you know, her midi palettes or whatever, because I think they're the same size as those. I should check real quick to make sure, because that would be fun. And then this last matte right here. So that one right there is the Love, right? The Love Face Palette. And I did just check, and these pans are the same size pans that are in her midi style eyeshadow palette. So super fun if you want to mix and match around and stuff like that. But these two here, there aren't any other palettes that are magnetized to like put something else in. But it looks like you could fit maybe 4, maybe 6 eyeshadows in each quadrant if you just wanted to turn it into like an eyeshadow palette. But anyway, really like the eye products and the highlighter in this guy. Not crazy about that blush. I'm gonna keep trying, I guess. But I also picked up 2 new lip liners from Morphe. They're the Soul Matte Filling Gel Lip Liner, which the sound of the whole title just looks very intriguing. And I was thinking one of these looked like a dupe for the Too Faced Badass Lip Liner that I love. And it's kind of close, but it's a little bit deeper. So there's 0.007 ounces of product. Which isn't a super ton of product that you're getting in here. And then these guys here are made in China. So again, I got 2 shades. The shade that I've got on my lips today is Quick Crush. So it's lined with that. And then I've got Max Cream Cup to fill it in. So this is the one that's kind of the closer of the two to the Too Faced Badass. So this is Quick Crush. These are a twist up style pencil. Really nice formula, glides on nice. It's not one of those ones that's like super budge proof either. It kind of wears off nicely throughout the day or blends in with your lipstick really nice when you're like, you know, going to fill it in. So that one is the Quick Crush shade. And the other one is much, much warmer, almost has like a terracotta kind of yellow to it. This is My Boo. And I think this is going to look so pretty with like Anastasia's Butterscotch lipstick with a really like orange eye or something like that. So that one is My Boo. And then let me swatch it next to Too Faced's Badass. So for reference, here's Too Faced's Badass, which the tones are very similar between the two. Just a little bit more, I think, warmth in the Morphe one, and the Too Faced Badass is a little bit lighter. But similar enough where I think you could get away with, you know, the Morphe one as opposed to the Too Faced one. But nice lip liners there. And again, those are the Soul Matte Filling Gel Lip Liners in the shades Quick Crush and My Boo right there. And then lastly from Ulta, I did get the new Too Faced Italian Spritz Lake Como Cocktail Inspired Eyeshadow Palette. So this guy here has got a total of 18 shades. 18 grams of product in there, so each shadow is a gram of product, which is a pretty decent amount of product that you're getting in one of these palettes. Sometimes you get kind of not a lot in these. That's decent, 1 gram across 18 shades. So this is the box packaging. They finally went back to their tin, which everybody's been loving from what I've seen on YouTube, including myself. In case I forgot to mention, this palette is made in Italy as well. And for kind of references, their Pinker Times Ahead and then the Too Femme palette, these ones here were made in Korea. And the majority, if not all, of the other tin palettes, I've got them all, and I like went through them, were all bulk made in the USA, assembled in the Dominican Republic. So different kind of manufacturers there. And then the ones that were made in Italy prior to this one, which are all really nice palettes in my opinion, are the Too Faced Born This Way Sunset Strip, the Neutral Nudes, the Teddy Bear palette, and then the 3 that were this in this style packaging with the fruit on there. Those are all made in Italy, and I again have gotten along really well with all of the palettes that have been made in Italy by Too Faced. So the Italian Spritz is also made in Italy. So again, here's our tin packaging, And then you've got your 18 shades. So I would say that there's 3 different type of formulas in here. You've got the majority of them that are matte, and then you have 3 shimmer shadows that have got like a thinner, like slicky style of formula, and that's this blue, this purple, and kind of this speckled black with like gold reflex in it, or like patchy gold bits in there. And then the other 5 shimmers or metallics, which is this one, these 2, and then this guy. They're really metallic and really foily, but they're a thicker, almost slightly sticky formula. I don't have an issue kind of, you know, packing them on the lid and stuff like that, but they are kind of a heavier formula. And then the mattes are really pigmented and they blend really well. It's a pretty nice palette from Too Faced. I did not get along or care for that Pinker Times Ahead at all. It's a big stretch between this palette and the last one that they did in the Pinker Times Ahead. We'll just put it that way. So let me go ahead and give you guys some swatches. I have worn this palette a couple times, got along with it pretty well. A little bit of layering action with those mattes, but overall really well. And then this guy here does have a scent to it, and it's not a scent that I've smelled, or it's not familiar to me when I compare it to other scents in Too Faced palettes. If I could change one thing about this palette, because there are 18 shades in here, it would be that there was at least one that was a lighter shimmer highlighty style shade, and that's for how I like to do my eyeshadow. Granted, if you have a deeper skin tone, that blue or purple might work out really well for you like that, but for me, I did bring in something a little bit brighter for the inner portion of my lid, just for how I like to do eyeshadow. So you can, I think you can kind of even see when I swatch those shades that they have just a thicker kind of formula to them, but they're really pretty. And then these next guys. Yeah, and I kind of think if I were to keep swatching like those thicker metallics, I might get a little bit of hard pan, but it's nothing that like a stiff flat shader can kind of fix for me, at least. And then these last 2 shades right here. And I think with those thicker shades, I think I just went over a shade. No, I didn't. Sometimes I do that. With those shimmer kind of metallic shades, they seem to be not wanting to form kind of hard pan, but they do. It's an interesting, almost like a tacky, creamy type of a thicker texture. It's very interesting. It's like a new formula, or it could be one that was pressed perfectly. I think if you were to press a formula like that too hard, then you're going to run into problems. But these are pretty nice. Pretty nice palette from Too Faced. I hope that they keep this up. So again, that is the Too Faced Italian Spritz Lake Como cocktail inspired eyeshadow palette right there. Kind of give you a little bit more of a close-up again of those swatches. And then I finally got in my order from Chic Decent, which is a Chinese-based retail site. They sell a lot of, I think they have some Japanese, Korean, and then also mainly Chinese makeup brands on there. And they had some of my absolute favorite powders in the whole universe for setting underneath the eyes, which is that stack right there. It's the Flower Nose Circus powder. I like the translucent one, and I also like the slightly tinted one. I kind of use them interchangeably. I'm a broken record at this point about that powder, but they're discontinuing it, and I'm just crossing my fingers that they come out with that formula in another collection that they do. Flower Nose is one of my absolute favorite like indie brands. I just love their stuff, their packaging, their aesthetic. It just really does it for me. And this is the second time that I've ordered from Chic Decent, and I would say it took about a month to get here, which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, isn't too bad. I did order quite a bit of things, and also with the first order that I did, and then also this one, they threw in free products. So both times I've ordered from them, they threw in full-size free products, which I just think is super cool. So again, I got 6 more of these. I need all the backups because It's my favorite. I've been trying other powders in the interim to see if something compares. I got some other powders in this order as well to try to see if that formulation is kind of dupable in other brands. But I have found that the like C Beauty, K Beauty, J Beauty, pressed and loose powders, they have like similar kind of qualities. They have some of the prettiest face powders. And I've also found that the majority of them are also like talc-free formulas. And I looked on the Chic Decent website because I can't read the ingredients on this box because I believe it's in Mandarin. And the ingredients for this powder, there's like, I don't know, 5 ingredients and there's like water in it. It's just very interesting, cool formula. So I don't want to be without this. And hopefully, again, I feel like everybody needs to try this powder for setting underneath their eyes. It blurs, it's undetectable, it turns concealers into like undetectable product underneath the eyes. Like, it's just such a pretty, pretty product. They're that nice. Just saying. They're still in stock on the Chic Decent website. Beat me to buying some more backups, okay? So this is one that I've got in use right now. This is the number 1 transparent. The other shade number 2 comes in a black carousel, and it's got the slightest fleshy tint to it, but again, I can just use them interchangeably. There was a puff in here too for this one. I don't know where it's at, but I typically just put a little bit in the cap, and then I don't use as much as like I dump out, and I don't want to waste it by tipping it over, so I just kind of go like this in my makeup room. But it does have a sifter on there as well. I just find that I can't coat my brush evenly with a sifter. That's why I like to put it on in the lid. But gosh, yeah. Me and my flower nose powder, okay? I also got this powder from the brand Judy doll, and it's the Pucky Flying Babies powder. Got little pop art on there. I set my eyes with underneath my eyes with this guy too, and this is a really pretty powder too. It's got a little bit more brightness because there's a little bit more pigmentation to this powder, and it's not quite as finely milled as the flower nose, but it's still a really pretty product. I think this comes in a couple different shades as well, which I'm tempted by. This one's got 8 grams of product, and like the flower nose has got 11 grams of product. So you are getting a lot of product in the flower nose, but I did go through 2 of those in the time frame that I've been using, which has been about what, a year and a half maybe. But this is the packaging for this powder. The shade I have is, I don't know. I don't know. Soft light blurring setting powder. It's this guy right here. And the packaging, again, it's really, really cute. There is a little puff that came in this guy as well. This one, it sits in the lid. Very similar style, like component on the top of the packaging as the flower nose. And then you open it up and it's got one of those screens in there. So again, I just use the cap to kind of put some in there. And then for what it's worth, so you can see it's got a little bit of pigmentation to it. The flower nose one doesn't have a lot of pigment to it. It's just such a, I can't get over it, okay? But for what it's worth, this is the Judy doll one, and again, this is a nice under eye setting powder as well, just a little bit more brightness, not quite as undetectable as the flower nose, but still a very, very nice setting powder for underneath the eyes. I think maybe tomorrow I'll try it to set my whole face and see how that goes. That was the Pucky Flying Babies soft light blurring setting powder right there. And then I also got a pressed powder from GoGo Tails. This is the Flower Girl pressed powder in 701. There's a couple shades of this available as well. I have 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 2 or 3 shades, I think. 9 grams of product in here. This is the box packaging. It's super pretty, as is the actual packaging. There are like underlaid petals. Whether or not they're real petals, I don't know, but there are petals underneath the plastic of this. They're like fixed in there. Such pretty packaging. So again, this one is pressed. So you flip open the top, there's a little puff in there as well, and then here is your powder. And there's like a mountain motif in there. Now this powder, in comparison to like the flower nose and the Judy doll one, it's got a little bit more substance to it than those, and it's got more pigment than both of those as well. So it's more of a brightening product, and you can see right there the white cast that it has. So for me, like, I wanted to use the Tarte with the flower nose today because that's what I typically use. But if I wanted to brighten up that Tarte concealer, I could set it with this powder. And it's also really pretty underneath the eyes. And I do like it underneath the eyes, but I compare everything now to flower nose, and that's still my number 1. But I'm going to try this one to set the whole face as well, because it's such a thin, like silky formula that it might just be really beautiful all over the face as well. So that one is the GoGo Tails Flower Girl pressed powder right there. You can definitely see that it's got a bit of color in it. And then I got a bunch of cheek products, and like the whole Chic Decent website, it is so hard not to just go crazy because all of their packaging and their products look so cute and beautiful and like dainty. Like I just want to try everything off that website, and I have another order going right now as well. But I got this little tiny highlighter. I didn't know it was going to be this little, but it is quite little. I think the brand is Thyra, Thyra. So this guy's got 3 grams of product in it, which isn't bad considering how tiny this is. I noticed like when I look on the side of the compact, the pan is pretty thick. So that's kind of where I think your, bulk of your product comes from, because I got another highlighter that I'll show you that looks larger, but there's actually 2 grams of product in that one compared to this one. But this is the highlighter that I have got on my cheeks today. It's a duochrome. There's another version of this available that I'm really tempted by. This one was, I think, the most expensive cheek product that I got. It was like 15 bucks, but it is really, really pretty. And it also sticks to the skin, my dry skin type, without having to put a base on it really well. There's some nice like binders in it. But it's just stunning. I'm probably going to end up getting the other one too. So this one's got the pink, like purple flip to it. And again, it is the highlighter that I've got all over the high points of my face. It's beautiful. And talk about the cutest little compact, right? With a decent amount of product in there as well. So that one is from Thyra. And if I didn't mention already, I believe all of these products on the packaging, either the box or the actual packaging, they also have expiration dates. Granted, I don't look into that too much when it comes to powder products as much as I do for creams. And then the other highlighter that I got is from RMT, and this is the number 5 shade. They have like 6 of these available. These are like multi-chromes. This is the one that's got 2 grams, which is actually a bigger compact and pan than the other one, but it's got less product. So it could be a weight thing too, I'm not sure. But this one's very, very thin. This one also adheres to my drier skin type without a base really, really well. But it has a green, blue, golden shift to it. Purple. It's definitely a multi-chrome, which is very difficult to show on camera. Maybe if I turn it a little bit, you can see some purple, kind of some green. It's really, really stunning. Some blue. I'm tempted to get all the shades of this as well. I know I've got 2 more in my cart right now, but another really stunning highlighter. So that one is from RMT, and it's the number 5 shade. Kind of a thick, kind of acrylic packaging. Sorry if you can hear the wind. I had to crack the window because I'm just roasting, and it is windy outside. So I want to keep the ball rolling here. So I got 2 blushes from RMT as well, and these are the Romantic Beauty blushes. This is the box packaging. Very, very cute. These guys here have got 4.1 grams of product in each blush, which is a pretty decent amount of product. I got 2 shades of this. I got number 12 and number 11, and they're both ombre blushes, and they're both really, really pretty. There are some deeper shades of this blush that I've got in my cart right now as well, and there is a little embossing on there that says Romantic Beauty as well. So when I've used these, I've just mixed them together. And like I said, there are some deeper shades available. Both of these colors work on my skin tone, but they do run quite light. So that one right there is number 12. And then the other shade is number 11. And this one kind of ombres from purple to a pinky peach. So there's number 12, and then there is number 11. There's a really poppin' orange shade that I want to get. These are both matte blushes as well. And then the blush that I have got on my cheeks today is from Judy doll, and this is the J03. 4 grams of product in this one. Really pretty packaging. It's like a frosted acrylic. And this is also an ombre style from purple to pink, and it is absolutely stunning. I just love this color. Again, this is the shade that I've got on my cheeks today, and it's so, so pretty. So that is from Judy doll, and that is the J03 shade, and that's what I've got on my cheeks. I also got one blush from Chio Tour. It's the double color blush in 02. This is the box packaging on that guy. And then here is the packaging. It's got a little like dual color with a little face in there with hair. Also a really pretty color. You're gonna see that I kind of picked shades from each range that all together are quite similar. So the other colors that I have in my bucket are like more oranges and peaches and stuff like that, but this is also a really pretty shade. It is a matte blush as well. It's got the acrylic packaging too. So that is the 02 from Chio Tour. And then the last blush that I got is from Florette. And this guy here is the shade number 7. And there's 4.5 grams of product in this guy. And the packaging comes with a little like charm that you can take off of it. And then it's kind of like 3D effect waves on the front of it. And this is a really pale, cool tone pink. It's also a matte blush. And it's also very, very pretty. But you can see right there, very, very light. So that one there is from Florette, and that is the Nice to Meet You number 7 blush right there. And like I said, all of those blushes work on my skin tone, but they're all pretty light. And then I wanted to show you the free things that they threw in. They threw in this Mr. Paper little notepad, which, like, how pretty. I'm like dropping things. How pretty is this? Right? Very, very pretty little notepad. And then they also threw in one of the Flower Nose Love Bear lipsticks, and this is in the shade it's the Milky Chestnut Bear. I've got products from this range as well, and it's a discontinued range, or at least I'm sure that's like getting low on stock, because the majority of, if not all that I have seen of Flower Nose collections are like limited edition. The packaging on this is so cute. It's magnetized. It's got a nice weight to it. There's a little bear on there. This color isn't, you know, kind of up my street, but the embossing and the kind of intricate detail on the lipstick is so pretty. It's a cream. It does look like a cream. Yeah, it is a cream lipstick. I've not worn this because it's kind of just not my shade, but they threw that guy in there. That's one thing that I noticed with the lip products from the brands like on Chic Decent and stuff, even like Flower Nose, is they all run like mid-tone or kind of deeper. And I think, well, at least I personally would love it if they came out with like lip shades that are matching like all those blushes. And then I was so surprised and so happy that these were also in there. These are some of my favorite highlighters that I have in my whole collection are from the Flower Nose, the Little Angel, I believe is the name of that collection. And I have got 5 shades already, and 3 of which I've hit pan on, and I have backups of those highlighters. But there were 2 of those in here as well. And one of the shades is Paradise Lost, which I do not have. So this is the box packaging. So beautiful. Here is the actual packaging right here. And then if you open it up, oh, this is the one that I already have that they sent me that I wanted to swatch for you guys. So they sent me over another Love and Death. This is the one that I have, but I wanted to swatch it for you. It's got a strong like pink duochrome to it. These highlighters go over and blend out on dry skin so nice, and they're very high shine. So they sent over Love and Death, and then the one that I didn't have is Paradise Lost. And this one is quite deep, but I thought maybe it'd be really pretty as like a blush topper. You can see that intricate embossing too. It's a baked gelée formula with more hydration. It's not as dry as some baked gelée formulas can be. And again, they adhere to the skin so well. Oh, that's so pretty. You know what? Maybe in the summertime I would be able to make this work, because it actually doesn't go on, I don't think, quite as dark as it looks in the pan. It has got such a beautiful shine to it. This is another product formula from Flower Nose that I'm like crossing my fingers that they come out with the same formula in other collections, because again, it's one of my favorite, most loved highlighter formulas. It's just really beautiful. So those were over for free as well. And then lastly, for today's escapades, I got in 2 wonderful PR products from skincare brands that I absolutely adore. This first one is Youth to the People, and I seen this on Sephora and I was so excited about it because I love the Pharmacy vitamin C cream that just came out. I can't remember the exact name off the top of my head, but it looks like a little honeycomb, the jar. That is such a beautiful eye cream, and it works so stunning underneath makeup, and it's very, very hydrating. I'm almost done with a full pot of that, and I will be repurchasing that. But in the interim, I did get the new one from Youth to the People, which is also a vitamin C eye cream. So it's Peptides Plus C Energy Eye Concentrate, Brighten, Smooth, and Depuff. And the packaging that this came in was super cool. The shipping box was actually attached kind of to this, and then the product is in the middle. Like, really cool, super unique. It comes in a glass pump style packaging, and there's a 1/2 ounce of product. So it says Peptides Plus C Energy Eye Concentrate, energize your eyes. This concentrated eye serum combining a trio of peptides, vitamin C, G, caffeine, yerba mate, and GAC or GOC seeds. I've never heard of that. GOC seed extracts. Visibly brightens, depuffs fatigued looking eyes and blurs the appearance of fine lines with daily use. Use AM and PM, pat and smooth under and around your eye area, tap gently to help absorb formula. So I did just get this, and I've only used it twice, so I can't kind of speak on the formula in terms of long-term. Consistency of this one is a little bit thicker than the pharmacy one, but I can't speak in terms of the hydration. Again, I've only used it twice. It does sit really pretty underneath concealer, and I've layered it with the Ordinary, and I've also layered it with the Naiad serum underneath, which is something that I always do. I layer up like thin serums and then put heavier creams over the top, but it did feel really, really hydrating. I just don't know if it was quite as hydrating as the pharmacy. Again, I have to continually use it probably for a week straight and not the pharmacy to kind of determine that, but I'm at the tail end of the pharmacy, so I kind of want to use up the jar that I have open already, but that's kind of how I tell which one is like more hydrating, or if one's more hydrating than the other, or vice versa. But I have liked this. I haven't had any like irritation or anything like that with my eyes. Again, concealer blends over it really nice, and it does have some pretty hydration to it. Super huge thank you to the Youth to the People for sending over their new eye cream. I just love eye cream. Is one of those skincare products that I just absolutely love to try. And then the other PR package is from Glow Recipe, and they came out with the Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops. It's a serum, and it came in this also super cool packaging. Like, some brands in their PR boxes are like really unique and cool. And it says on the card that's inside, clinically effective all-in-one pore treatment and makeup primer. Refines pores, balance oil, smooth texture, gently pat onto cleansed, toned, and follow with moisturizer. Toned skin and follow with moisturizer. As a makeup primer, prolong makeup wear, reduce excess shine, satin pillow skin. The key ingredients are encapsulated BHA plus strawberry enzymes, plant-derived pore minimizer plus strawberry leaf extract, and pore blurring tapioca and rice. So this is what the box packaging on this guy looks like. This is a 1 fluid ounce squeezy bottle. I like the sleeker, smaller kind of style packaging as well. It'll be super travel friendly. So I've tried this quite a few times so far. And the thing for me is a BHA. I used to be able to use a BHA all over the skin morning and night. And as I've kind of gotten older, my skin doesn't tolerate it as easily. So the BHA that's in here is a salicylic acid. So I used to use the Paula's Choice, I can't remember the exact name. If you guys watched my empties videos for some years, you used to see like a pile of bottles of those because I used it morning and night, and my skin just can't handle it anymore. Granted, the pH of the BHA that's in the products does make a difference. It like makes your skin feel a little bit tighter, which is really good for like oilier skins. I have drier skin, so it really makes my skin feel tight. So how I've used this so far is I get a little bit of breakouts right here, and I've been putting this, kind of rubbing it in my temple area and then kind of around my chin area. And I haven't noticed like any weirdness with my makeup or anything like that, but I do feel like there's a little less oil production in those areas and a little less breakouts in my temples. So I'm going to continue to play around with it. But a BHA nowadays, again, is just not something I put all over my face. So I'm going to target kind of use this product to kind of refine those pores, help with blemishes and kind of oil and stuff like that. And so far it's been working nice like that. And I've got it on underneath my makeup today in those areas as well. Again, that is the new Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops. It says serum on there as well. And this guy is also made in the USA. So a huge thank you to Glow Recipe for sending me over their latest launch. And that is everything that I have from my haul today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.